Hello and welcome to a new video. I have a few moments before I need to go to work, so I thought I could start my next vlog for Hellsing so that I can make some progress on it. I'm very behind of where I'm supposed to be in all my manga, so let's stop doing that and catch up. We are reading Hellsing 2 Deluxe. I need to get it. Oh god. Which is right here. And I read Deluxe 1. Was it last week? It feels like ages ago. Or maybe the week before, I'm not sure. And this is about vampires and Nazis, and we are fighting them, and then we are investigating, etc. This is by called Hirano, and it is only 3 deluxe editions, so like when we have read this, there's only one more left, which is really weird to think about, but we are rolling and we are opening this from its plastic, which I now had in the plastic since I got it like 3 years ago. So I feel like it's really good that I'm finally reading them. Okay. But it doesn't want to come out. Come on. And it does not want to cooperate at all. Okay. Oh, I almost dropped the whole thing. But it didn't happen. It's fine. I did that with one of my berserks, and it has like a little damage from that. And I just don't think about it. That's what you're supposed to do in life. Okay, let's see. Eep. Okay, it's off. The plastic thing is just over there for now. Great work. And then this obviously goes off, and then I'm gonna put it inside when I'm done. So we have it here. It's very red, like blood, because vampires. And we are starting with Flashpoint, apparently, which is order 28 or chapter 28, but they are called orders. And I guess we're just gonna start. I'll let you know how it goes. I didn't really understand this chapter. It's just about Police Girl and Sarah's trying to wake up Alucard, and then he has a weird like gun dream, and then he wakes up and they're like, "Did you have a weird dream?" And he's like, "No." And that's it. That was the whole chapter. I don't know what happened. Order 29. It's called D4, which is like a little, what's it called? Not menopause, that's something else. Like a little break. A little commercial break before we continue. Okay, so we have Integra, aka Mrs. Hellsing, arriving at like the headquarters for like the national security because a boat is being attacked by the Nazis. And a lot of like the soldiers and the people there are not happy that she's there. Like, they're like, you don't need help for that lot. Because like, you know, they investigate and have like, I was just gonna say, a rumor of, I was gonna say, working with vampires and like bad things, because I mean, there is a vampire working for Hellsing. But she's there to be like, observe, I guess. And now we see one of the boats of the English, I assume that we are the English, being attacked and owned by someone, one of the Nazi people. And they are shocked, basically. And then we go into order 30, which is, I think, the 5. So now we have Integra and the butler talking about how they're gonna get Alucard to the boat, because they couldn't do that and they couldn't do that. And then they have like, I have this idea. And then we switch over to the boat again, where the Nazi person, I actually don't know the name of this person, but I assume a vampire. And then they're like, oh, it's him, he's coming. More in a German accent, but I'm not going to try to make one German accent. And he's coming in this, is this a bomb, or is it like a thing you have under the ocean, but it threw it in the air? I actually don't know. Like a submarine, but it threw it in the air, like this? What is that? Or did they just put him in a bomb and just like flow him over there? Actually, it says in the next one what they did. In the beginning of the next chapter, it's like a plane. It's an airplane. It says Air Force on the thing. I should have known. I'm just stupid. But yeah, next chapter is order 31, which I just think is D6. Yes. So, fun. Exciting. Let's see how this bullfight goes. That was a lot of explosions, etc. So, we have basically Alucard crashing this plane into the boat. And then we just have like the Nazi vampire like kind of having like a, I wouldn't exactly call it a speech, but like a little song for themselves to be like, he is coming, etc. And then we just see explosions. So he did crash the plane into the boat. The Nazi vampire, because I don't know the name, looks shocked. So now we have order 32, which is the North title, is D7. Alucard, by the way, looks very hot right now. Just saying. Great summary. Let's go. I started a camera on how to sneeze. Excuse me. Lovely. But we basically have Alucard approaching the Nazi, who was not a vampire, by the way. It was a werewolf. And he's like, grabs his hand out slowly. And he's standing there like, ah! Super scared. And then right before he's about to grab him, some soldier shoots him. And he's like, get your shit together, Lieutenant. You're supposed to lead this operation. And they're standing there like, ah! Super scared. And then they go and hide. But Alucard is now fighting some soldiers. And they try to use hand grenades. And they're like, guys, it's not going to help. We need to use hand grenades. And Alucard just goes wild. Like, honestly. He looks really great though. Like, look at him. He is. Yeah, actually, this is my favorite part ever. I love seeing this Alucard own everyone. The soldiers are very shocked about him just everywhere. Honestly, love to see it for him. So now we have 33, which is just D8. This is going completely crazy. First, we actually are with Integra for a moment, and the other like soldier officers people are like, what's going on? And the boat, what's going on? And she's like, it is a one-sided massacre down there right now. And they're like, and I was with over to Alucard, who has grabbed the werewolf. Like, it's literally like a billion bubbles just saying 1,000 times over. They do not look happy. And then he's like grabbing them, and I call him against the wall, and it looks like he's going to feed. And then this huge like balloon thing shows up. That was from the Nazis. I don't remember. So is he gonna feed? I don't know. But he also stabs them with like this thing that they were gonna use on him. We have 34, which is D9. Alucard went ham, I would say. Love to see it. And finally, Alucard gets to feed, and then we basically see him suck up blood. And then we switch over to the lead Nazi dude for now, and he's like, well, she completed her mission perfectly, and basically rip. And then they're all like, Heil, and then yeah. So is there something in her blood? Who knows? I don't know. They're talking about how they're gonna take down Alucard, and Alucard is laughing and looking crazy. And now we have 35, which is called Sonado. That's how I would say it. See what that brings, I guess. Okay, so basically what happens is that Alucard did obviously well in the ship, as we know, but now the Nazi dude, the leader Nazi dude, is like, but we have another plan, ha 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 ha. And then we see just like them infiltrating everywhere in a way that the war is starting, as Integra said. And then in the room where Integra is, she's with like lots of like officers, etc., because they were like, what's it called, overseeing the operation with Alucard. Some of the people I think in the room all like run into the room and are vampires with the Nazis, and it's like, we are here to take you. Can't believe we got Mr. Hellsing. Ha ha ha. But then Integra's just like, do your work, Butler. And then he's like super badass. And he's like, boom, 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 boom. And owns them all. Really, really love to see that. And then we are just seeing basically all the Nazis coming to London and gonna take over. So fun. Not actually fun, but yeah. So we are going to 36, which is Final Fantasy 1, not a game, I think. Okay, but when I said the Nazis are arriving in London, they actually literally arriving intensely in London right now. The dude, the officer dude, I don't even know if he's an officer or captain. They call him Manfurher. I don't know if he's like the new leader of the Nazis. I actually don't know. I call him the officer dude. The leader of the Nazis. He's just having a little speech like, be careful of Integra. She's dangerous. She's the leader of vampire hunters. And Alucard, he follows Integra. She is his master, and also Police Girl, which also obviously have a name. He does say her name. I keep forgetting it. Service Victoria, but I call her Police Girl. And then we actually, like, he has a long speech everywhere they're gonna attack, which is like basically all the most known places in London. And he just like Billy has a long speech like, we're gonna bomb this and you ruin this and ruin this and ruin this, and we see London Bridge, the tower, and then we actually see all of London being bombed. I don't know if everything obviously is destroyed, but they're being bombed intensely. And then he's like, prepare for drop, because they did come in this big airship. So now they're dropping into London. I'm like, we have another deluxe edition after this. I feel like this is the final battle, but we are just going into it here. So Order 37, Final Fantasy 2. So we're back to Integra, and they're all saying to her like, they're invading, they're everywhere, and then this like officer dude has like a long speech like, go out, take up the barricades, la 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 la, and just damage, la la la, we must defend, la 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 la. He has like a long like kind of sending out orders. Integra told him first to leave, but he says to Integra that she has to leave because she has vampire hunting to do. So she leaves. They're on their way home to, I was gonna say, prepare for this invasion. I was gonna say they need to hurry. Now we have 38, which is just, I think, Final Fantasy. Oh, I don't get actually the chapter. Final Fantasy 3. It was like a whole thing before the actual thing. Let's go. Okay, we have flashes of battle at first, and kind of like this rhyme or like text, dramatic text going over it. And then we have Integra jumping into battle somewhere, helping some soldiers. And then the officer dude now know where she is because of that. They're like, Integra is sighted, and now they're gonna go after her, assume where she is. So we're going to Final Fantasy 4, and we shall see how this battle goes. I honestly feel like we are in the final. Am I reading the wrong volume? No, I'm not. I don't know. I'm like, if this is happening now, what's gonna happen in the third one? Now I'm very, very curious. Getting emotional, because Integra and Walter, the butler, is driving in the car. She's like, go ahead, go full speed, go, just keep going. He's like, no. And then he went after the car and it's like, go, Integra, full speed ahead, don't look back. I'm gonna cry. And then Integra was like, okay, but this is a command. You come back alive. That is command, you hear it? And he's like, yes, sir. And then he's now fighting one of the vampires. And they said like it's like 55 years since they fought together or something. And now the officer, the Nazi leader is like, she's alone, go after her, she's alone, Integra is alone. So they're all going after her even more. And Walter better survive, because he's not allowed to die. Because I like him. So he's not allowed to die. That's all I got to say. Okay, chapter 40, Final Fantasy 5. Integra didn't get that far before she was overwhelmed by a billion, I assume, ghouls, Nazis, whatever, and vampires. And then she's going out and it's like, I'm gonna fight you, and it's like ready. And right before she's being attacked, one of the vampires is like bulldozed with knives, and Alexander Anderson is there once again, aka the dude who tried to kill Alucard earlier, aka the dude from the special Vatican thingy. And I don't know, in the beginning, I didn't like him, obviously, because he tried to kill Alucard, but since seeing him the one time later in the museum, and now again, I kind of like him, because he is, in a way, on our side, because he hates vampires, so he's going to kill all these Nazi vampires. But on the other side, I don't want him to like hate Alucard, obviously, because I love him. But I think he's kind of funny now at this point. So now he's there to protect Integra. And Walter better be okay. I honestly don't know. So now we're going to chapter 41, Order 41. I don't know what you want me to call him. Which is the Screamer. Is that me? Because I am a Screamer. If you know me, you know this. Let's see. That was like the shortest chapter in the world. But basically we just had Artisan having a bit like speech, like, I'm gonna take you, basically, and then we see him fight. He's very badass. It's a lot of fighting right now. A lot of fighting. So, like, I feel like I don't have much to say because it's like they fought, and I don't know how to describe it. But we see Anderson stab a lot of people. It's cool. So we're already at chapter 42, which is Oberd Force. Okay. Because now we have another army. I thought first there were Americans. It's a bit funny, actually, because this person is reading the paper with London burning. I'm like, it's not London burning right now. Who has time to write a paper about it? Like, is it not happening right now? But either way, not that, like, the news shouldn't come out, but, like, isn't the battle just happening? How do they have a paper about it? And they have their own army, which is, like, these people. And I'm like, they're not American. Who are these people? Are these, like, the Vatican? It says maybe France. The shore opposite Dover. Amiens, France. So these French? Because we have Germans now, you know, when we're in London. And they have, like, a whole army of different, like, saints, holy armies. And they're all assembling. And they're going to attack London. And they want to... I thought at first they were going to go and help, like, London. But they just want to exterminate everyone in London. Like, the Nazis, Millennium, as they're called. Excuse me. And, like, the British Empire, aka the vampires there. And then they also, like, notice a boat is moving, and it's like, that should be impossible because that boat died. And it's just Alucard on that boat, and it's just, like, moving forward with, like, branches of his, like, dark shadow powers. It's like a boat that is basically cut in two. And then he's like, well, I don't care, let's just go. And now they're sending their forces over to London, so now we have another army coming. So now we have 3 different armies. Interesting. We're going to 43, which is Gunbullet. Okay, so they're trying to detain Integra. And she's like, I need to go home and give orders. Are you going to keep me here? And they're like, they said that would be like all of them making her stay. We might as well be rapists. And I think this is like, it's not like, it wasn't the Nazis, it was like Anderson people. They're letting her go, or they're following her. They're saying it's complicated. And then we have Nazi people getting shocked because, like, a lot of, like, the bomb planes are being shot down in the sky. And they're like, how are they being sniped? And obviously it is Police Girl, aka Sarah's, who's like, I'm doing this. So now she's having a moment. Very cool. And I love that they were all like, are we gonna detain Integra? I didn't know. It was just funny. She was like, I don't have time for this. I need to go. Oh, it's really funny. So we're on 44, which seems to be balloon fight. Nice. And also, I want to add that Integra also said that the threat of guns does not faze me. Like, super balancedly. And I'm like, I'm impressed, girl. Okay, let's see what 44 has. Okay, Sarah's was super badass and basically just used a billion huge bomb thingies to shoot down, I think, one of the main, like, plane airships things they had. And they couldn't basically do anything about it. So I love her. Love this moment for her. She was really badass. Also, an interesting thing that I noticed now is that because when the Nazis speak, it's like written in like a German accent translated in this. And before I was like, that's a bit annoying in a way because I just, yeah, either way. But now I realize it's kind of smart because then I realize whose side we are talking because, like, you know, people in uniform can look a lot like, especially when they're not like colored in, like they're all in uniform. And I'm like, who is who's on each side? But now we know always who's speaking, if it is the Germans or if it is like the British forces. So I thought that now I'm thinking about it, it's kind of clever. However, we know this other army is coming as well, so I don't know how confused I would be then, but they had completely different, like, uniforms. Not that, by the way, obviously, the Nazis has, like, the Nazi sign, which has been, I mean, misused because it wasn't originally the Nazi sign, but that's besides the point on the uniforms, but sometimes they just speak over without, like, we actually seeing who's speaking, and now we know who is speaking because of the accent thing. So it's an interesting thing. Okay, we're going to 45, which is Soldier of Fortune 1. Okay, so we follow one of, like, the main Nazi vampires' point of view for a bit. He's, like, leading loads of, like, soldiers into a battle. He's very angry, and he's like, lead them to war! And then they're leaving. We also have a tiny flashback, which I think was from the vampire's point of view. The main dude. He's leading these people. He's kind of like a trap. He like, you planned this trick and didn't really get what the trick was. I think a lot of soldiers went on mines and died. Yes, that was the trick. Like the British people went on the mines and died. Sarah's obviously gets sad for this. So yeah, we're going to 46, which I think is just Soldier of Fortune 2. Okay, so they're fighting, and then the main, like, Nazi vampire that is there right now grows, like, huge and is, like, slicing a house in part, and everyone is like, what's going on right now? How can this be happening? And everyone is freaking out, obviously, because he grew into a giant. But then Sarah's get, like, a flashback to, like, when she got instructions from Alucard that like she needs to think with her third eye and not her senses or something, and then she realizes that it was just an illusion, so it wasn't actually happening. And basically that was that chapter. They're really short, not that much happens, so I feel like I just speak for like 4 seconds. But we have Order 47, Soldier of Fortune 3. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I got a bit confused again because I realized that one of the people working with Sarah is speaking an accent, but it's not a German accent. Was he French? I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. But she's gonna run off in a fight thing, and they are splitting up from like the people. And he's like, close your eyes. And then he kisses her, and she looks like super shocked. I'm like, dude, don't just kiss people. But okay. And then now they are splitting up, and it's like, good luck to each other and bye. And I'm like, everyone is gonna die, aren't they? I don't want to read this anymore. I don't want anyone to die. I want people to be sad. But we go into 48, which I do believe is Soldier of Fortune 4. Okay, so the soldiers that are left are going to fight like the vampire dude that is coming. And then one of them, they kind of want to desert. I don't know if they were soldiers or like the group that was supposed to protect Integra. I don't actually know what this group was again. It's not that important. I mean, it is important, but you know what I mean. And one of them wanted to desert, and it's like the Alucard Integra like literally left us here, so we're leaving, bye. And then he's like, no, we're gonna fight for them. And then they're getting owned and being slaughtered, and it's not really fun. And then we have one man left standing, it seems like, almost. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to Order 49, Soldier of Fortune 5. Okay, not everyone was dead. It was just one group of people that was dead on one group, because the other group is still alive. And this was just basically, he was seeing his son, and he was like, oh my god, my son. And then it was just an illusion, and then he died. And now we're going over to the other group where they have the dude who kissed Sarah's, and they are like shooting, and then we see her shooting and fighting and shooting people and fighting people, and they're different places and fighting, basically. That's a great explanation. Order 50, Soldier of Fortune 6. Okay, so the other group was waiting for Sarah to show up. I think they were holding up someone for her to show up, and they're like, she won't come. But then she finally arrives, and she's like in the face of like the vampires doing their illusion things. Is it even a vampire, or is it just a person who can do illusions? I honestly don't even know. And then she's like, it's just in my head, it's just in my head, I cannot be let into these illusions. And then she suddenly has like this flashback in her head, which I feel like is maybe something sad in her past, maybe. I don't know. But we're going to Order 51, Last Mission. Not Soldier of Fortune anymore. That's kind of ominous. Okay, that was absolutely horrifying and very sad. So the flashback was, I think there was a robbers at Sarah's house, and her father was already killed. And then her mother was there, and she was like, stay back, stay back, stay back. And then she did, but then her mother was suddenly killed as well. And then Sarah was shot, but she's still alive. And then she watches her mother's corpse being raped. And I don't know if this is actually based on what has actually happened in her past, because we know she's an orphan, but we don't know. I don't know for sure if this is actually what happened, or if it was just an illusion that this guy made. But like, it seems like that is her past. So she's just standing there crying, and then he obviously attacks her when she's standing there, the vampire dude. And she's being like, I was gonna say, she lost her arm, she's being chopped and stabbed and stuff. But I feel like she will be fine, but that was very traumatizing. Thank you so much for that. Order 52, get away. Yeah, please get away from here. Please. Okay, that was actually very sad, and I swear I'm not gonna cry, but I felt myself being like so she's almost been taken down, right? And then the captain dude who kissed her earlier comes in and saves her and is carrying her. Like, they did shoot the vampire away. And then as he's carrying her away, he's being shot like basically everywhere. And he's trying to keep walking when he can't. And some of the other in the like regime tries to help, but like they also get owned. And then he's like, she gives him one kiss. And then also he's like, feed on me so that you can beat them. It was just very sad. I'm not gonna cry, don't look at me. And he said, like, if I die protecting her, says Slavy. I don't know how to actually pronounce that, but you get the point. I don't know if she fed on him, but she's sad. And now I'm sad. She's holding him, crying. Okay. Order 53, Yakuza. I don't want this anymore. This is just pain. Okay, the Nasa vampire is coming closer and closer. And then Sarah says, like, I won't have this. I won't have this. I won't have this. Her tea comes out. She drinks from the captain dude. A lot. And then she's just like, we're gonna attack them now. We're gonna take them down. And the others are like, okay. And then they go to attack Han. The Nazi vampire seems very, very shocked. And it hurts, but it's also kind of cool. We have 54, the man I love. No, I don't want the chapter called that. Not after that pain. That was also literally the shortest chapter in the world. It was just like the Nazi vampire being like, what is she? What is she? And then we see her grow her arm back. We see her rip a dude apart. It's bloody. She's a lot. It's very cool. I love it. He is very shocked. So am I. I'm very happy. Order 55 is order. I hate that word. Order. Orger. I can never say that word. Battle. Let's go. Let's go, Sarahs. I believe. Let's go. Sarah's beats this vampire to the ground. Love to see it. Love to see it. And then she's like, I'm off. And the others are like, all right. And she's like, I said I was going to beat them. So I'm off. I'm going to do that now. And they're all like, oh yes, sir. And they all like with shock. They're like, this is the same girl. Because as she found she's not super, super powerful. And then we switch over to like the main Nazi dude. And we see London burning. And he's like, now it is time. And then we see like a big like light in the sky, and everyone is like, what, an angel? Because he does look like an angel. But then it just seems to be like a big explosion from many helicopters that are coming to take down London. So they are there to turn the battle around even more to the Nazis' favor. Oh, it's not. Sorry, I turned the page by accident, and it is the other army we saw earlier. This is Order 56. Angelus. Yay. So the Angel army is landing, I think. We are shooting on each other. I think it is the Nazis and the Angels shooting on each other. Is it the British army? I honestly don't even know. We have the main Nazi dude playing music, battlefield music. No one can interfere. And then he's dancing and looking crazy. He's basically just always having dancing and speeches. Can he die now? Also, we haven't seen Alucard in a while. He's just on this boat, and he's just gonna come in the end and be like, whoosh. It's the next whole volume is just this long battle. I don't understand how this is gonna like go. But we have Order 57, which is Wizardry. I can't say the word. Wizardry 1, actually. Oh my god, that means I have to say the word more than one time. Well, I will get some practice in then. Okay, a lot of pieces moved in this chapter. First, we had like the Angel army arriving, as I said, and then the people of London were shocked that they weren't there to save them because they are also attacking the people. We go to Antegra, who's surrounded by all like the soldier thingies, and then Sarah show up, and it's like whoosh 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 whoosh. She doesn't actually have her arm go back. It's like just kind of shadows coming out of her arm that she uses. And Integra's like, oh, you are now a full vampire. And she's like, yeah. And now she seems to be free. I don't really understand. Anderson is still there. I don't understand if he's gonna attack Sarah's or if he's gonna like help them. And then we have like the Angel army like talking and seeing a ghost ship, and they're like, oh, what is this ghost ship? Obviously, because he comes. It is on a ghost ship, Alucard, and he is, well, he doesn't seem very happy, but he is ready. He's finally here after many chapters. And now we have Order 58, which is Wizardry 2. And we already see Alucard flying into the city. I'm ready. Okay. So Alucard arrives. He's like, Master. Like he lands in the middle of all the people that is kind of there. He also arrives in front of Anderson. And I feel like he's holding him in place. And another dude. Is that a Nazi dude? I don't know. It's none of my points. But Integra says, my slave, vampire Alucard, I order you, destroy them all. Do not allow them to go from this island alive. Kill all enemies, all that you see. And then it says, control art restriction system, level 0, which means released, it says. So it means that he has no restriction anymore. And then he says, acknowledge, I understand, my master. So he's gonna hunt them back. And he's gonna kill all. Is he gonna kill like the whole army alone? Like, dude, come on. I love it. Okay. So we have, I'm sorry, I was trying to find like the next chapter. It doesn't want to say. We have Order 59, which I just think is, well, it took a really long time before you could see the title of the next chapter. It doesn't actually say anyway. I'm just spoiling the whole chapter for myself. But Order 59, I do believe it was just Wizardry 3, I think we are on. Yeah, okay. I need to read. Okay. So he released full might on everyone. First of all, we have like a little count of like what is left of the different armies. it says total remaining forces of a German army 572, and then it seems like total remaining forces of like the Roman Catholic Vatican, which was that the angel people, I think. So they weren't French, they were Italian. 2,875. Why are there so few Nazis left? I don't know. And then the remaining forces of the Uniting Kingdom Hellsing Order of Royal Protestant Knights. You have 3. It's just funny. But yeah, he's just using all his powers everywhere. I don't even know how to describe it. There's wolves. He makes a horse. It's a whole thing. It is very cool. They are very shocked that he can do this. They're like, your own soldiers, your own vassals, your own subjects. How could you? What are you, a freak? Dracula! That's why his name Alucard. It's Dracula backwards. And now we are on order 60, which is wizardry 4. Yes. Okay, so we see Alucard just again taking over, and then he suddenly, I think he changed looks. Unless there's someone else. He looks different again. And I feel like all the way in the beginning he looked different. And now he looks different again. Like his face is different. Unless, is this someone else? He just looks different. I don't know. I think he's supposed to. I don't know. Basically everyone is dying. And then we have like the priesthood from the Vatican. The one who was like leading the army. He falls down from his helicopter. And then Anderson just starts watching him be like, bye. And then it's like, Anderson, help me, Anderson. And then Anderson just watching him die. And then he was like, in a place like this, am I to die in a place like this? So I was born alone, and I die alone. And he seems very upset, but he dies. It seems like even, did his army just stab him? Or is it Alucard stuff? I don't know. But it ends with Jesus in the end. Or I think just the army is being stabbed. Sorry, I was confused. Now we have chapter 61, which is Wizardry 5, which is the last chapter. It went really fast, I felt like, because it was just so much action, so I felt like it read fast. Me having no idea what's gonna happen makes this really fun. So I am done, and it ended with like Anderson saying goodbye to the priesthood who died, and he was apparently the one who taught him, so he was like a bit sad, but he was also like bye. And then we have Alucard standing in front of Integra, and it's like, hey, welcome back. And they're like, hey, welcome back. And then she's like, oh, you grew a moustache. He literally did. Look. He even says her name and not police girl. He looks different. And all the way in the beginning of like the first volume, he looked like a bit like scrawny and weird, and then he changed a bit later, and I was like thinking there for a moment because I was a bit confused. I was like, did he always look like that? But I think he's changed now twice at least. And then Anderson attacks him. He says he now has to kill Alucard because obviously he killed his like friend, and also like he is dangerous and a vampire and blah. And then he attacks him, and then a fight starts again between them. And then the Nazi dude is just standing there like, hee. I mean, he's observing from far away, I guess. And then the volume ended, and we are done. And I'm like, what? So now I feel like it makes sense in a way that if this is the final fight, because if Anderson and Alucard now fights, and then we have like the final Nazi fights in the next one, it makes sense that it's like, obviously 3 volumes was fine. No, 3 big volumes, but like, it works out then in my mind that the last fight is already now, because obviously usually in longer mangas the last fight takes like ages and it's like all the way in, and I was like, I can't have the last fight now. Just the last fight was basically almost the first fight, and it's just very long. We just had done like, because in my head we were gonna have several fights before fighting the Nazis in the end, especially like since we had like that random fight in Rio and then we went back again. But it works. It works. Okay, so I'm done. I like this volume much more than the first one because it wasn't like as long speeches, and I really like the character moments we had like in Star Wars, for example, in the different fights. I love Alucard coming in the end. I really, really enjoy this one. I really, really am now excited to see how it really wrap up now in the third one. And like I enjoyed the first one a lot, but it was like grounding its feet, and then it was like a lot of speeches and Nazis. And now I like it better because like we had like more different elements to it and more vampires and stuff added around it, so it worked better for me, I think. So yeah, very, very enjoyable, very, very bloody, but really fun to read like a kind of classic like this and see like the style, etc. I had a good time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Some of the chapters were really short, etc. But that is also fun. And you should see me obviously for the final Hellsing video, which hopefully is up soon after this. I mean, I haven't even posted the first one as I'm filming this one. So it'll probably be a little while, but like I'm reading them sooner than I'm posting the videos because schedules and stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this. Leave a vampire emoji down below if you enjoyed this, and you should see me soon in a new one. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!